Welcome to another episode of Weekly Analysis on GBPUSD. This is one of the things that I'll be doing henceforth. I'll be dropping a weekly review on GBPUSD, what the market is really doing currently, then what has happened in the past, then what we should be expecting the market to do in the coming week. So let's go into this video properly. Like I have right now on my chart, I have the daily time frame of GBPUSD right now on my chart, and what the market is doing is really clear. We can see that the market has been moving in a very sideways manner for the past couple of months now. You can see since April 2025 to the present day, we have it right now on this daily time frame. Been having this up and down, but we are not really concerned about that particular information. So what I'm really concerned about is what the market is currently doing in a very recent time. So I'll zoom in like this. So I'll be showing what the market did for last week and what I will be expecting the market to do this week. So if you can see this movement very well, this is a very massive push to the upside. Once the price got to this level here, we started seeing a downfall of price into what we have it right now. So I want to show what initiated this fall and what initiated this up movement here. Then before we talk about what we'll be looking for this week and probably the next week movement into next week movement. So the very first thing is to know what caused this particular movement here. So initially, if you look at the whole movement from this point here, we can say this movement here is caused by what is happening at this level. I was looking at this demand level here to determine the next movement for the market. Then that's one thing. Then again, I look at the exact low that was created before this push was created, which is this point here, which is what I use as liquidity. These were the two things that I had in mind before price got to this level. If this demand level here is not respected, then I'll be looking at price reaction at this low here that was created on this time frame. So price got to this demand level here, pushed into it aggressively, later closed away from it on the 22nd of June 2026. But later on Tuesday movement closed within that level. The Wednesday movement took out the liquidity here, then bounced back into that demand level. That tells me this demand level here is not really is not valid anymore. So I'll be looking at this liquidity here, then I'll be looking at price reaction from this point onward. If price failed to close below this level on this daily time frame, definitely that liquidity is responsible for this push there. That was what I saw there, and the market started going up from there. After price started moving from this point here, I moved down to my 1 hour to start looking for a possible entry. If this liquidity is taken out and price is moving up, I'll be looking at price at this particular point here. Then I have this my liquidity as well. This whole movement here started from this high here. You can see this is where this whole wave started from. So that was actually my extreme point I'll be looking at price to get to before we know exactly what the market really wants to do. Will it start selling from that point again, or will it just break that level and continue going up? So this one is bottom, but if price should respect it, definitely this wave will really want to continue going down. This wave here, this wave really want to continue going down. That was what I was actually seeing from that point. If that level is really holding price busted out of that level aggressively to claim the supply level at this point where I was expecting price to get to. If price can respect the supply level, then we'll be looking for sell to the downside. But if that level failed to hold the price, then I'll be looking at price reaction at this level here for price to take out liquidity or break this level here to continue going up, something like this, then start dropping from that point onward, or price take it out then continue going up from there to continue the major bullish run. These are the things that I was expecting price to do. Then price did that exactly for last week. That was when we started looking for a selling opportunity. Started selling this market on Monday. Let me show you how I was able to enter those trades. Before I showed how I entered the trade last week, let me show where I'm expecting price to get to right now, because this level here is the next demand level that we have visibly on this daily time frame here. So what I'm expecting right now is for price to sell into this demand level down here. So if price can sell into this demand level down here, then I'll be looking for buying opportunity if price respect this demand level. But if price decide to take out the low to create either liquidity, to grab liquidity, or to continue going down from that point, then I will know what to do next. But right now, this is my main focus right now, this demand level here. So let me show you those trades that we took. I took one trade on Monday, one on Tuesday, and probably one on Thursday or Friday. I think there were just 3 trades that I entered on during last week. So let me show them one after the other. So the very first thing that I was looking at was this. Immediately price created this aggressive push to the downside here. I was looking at the possible levels that were taken out before I start putting out my point of interest. So I watch out for this one here, which is the first one that I watch out for. This is a break of structure here. So this was not that much, but I really regard it as a break of structure. I put my point of interest on this candle here, but I always try to cover for any wick that is currently available at that particular point as well. You can see that's what I did here on Friday actually, to look for possible entry on Monday. So that was my first point of interest. Then last week Monday, I saw this candlestick respecting this point of interest early hour of Monday. So that was when I started looking for, okay, let's go into this trade because of this candlestick pattern that we have here. So this candlestick pattern here was what really prompted the entry of this trade here. This one here was what I saw that made me go into that trade. That was the first entry there. Then again, as time goes on, price took up another level, which is this level down here. So this is the next break of structure here. If you've been watching my video for the past few months now, my mode of entry are 2. I entered the trade with 2 different setups. Let me show briefly what I mean by that. So if I want to go into a trade, I either use, when trade takes out a level like this, when the price takes out a level like this, I do 2 things. I put up my point of interest from the origin of that push. Then also I use 50.61.8 level of Fibonacci retracement too. You can see starting from the origin of that push to the current point, we have the reversal happening. So this is in the case of a bearish movement that I have right now. So it's going to be a bullish movement. It's going to be a reverse of this one here. So this is what I do. I will now pull out another point of interest from the 50% and 61.8% of Fibonacci 2. So this is my point of interest as well. This is also my point of interest as well. These are the 2 entry modules that I use. So that is what I will be using here as well. This is the first one here, the origin. That was what gave me the first entry for the for that week. Then again, price took out another level here. That was when I started pulling out my point of interest. My first one was this one here. You can see. Then my second one was the Fib level. You can see I used this high here and this low here to create that move. You can see. Then I used this 50.61.8 level to create my point of interest. You can see that is basically what I'm talking about here. That was my second trade for the week. So point of interest. So that's the second trade for the week. Then the third trade, I was looking at this to, since this was a break of structure here, I pulled out my 2 point of interest here. None of them were triggered. You can see we had the extreme point of interest here at this point here. Then also I pulled out my 50.61.8 level. I used this level here to pull it out initially, but price later took that level out. This was what I did initially before price took that level out. So I was expecting price to respect this or this. None of it triggered, and price continued moving downward. So the next thing that I did was, okay, if price is going to continue going down, then I should be looking for something less entirely, not that one again. Since price took out this level again, you can see there's another break of structure there. This is one here. This is another break of structure here as well. So I was looking at price at this point. Okay, since price is taking out this level here, I should be looking for my entry somewhere around this area here. So I pulled this out here and I waited patiently. I did not react immediately when price got, because this is not a confirmation for me. This kind of candlestick is not a confirmation for me to go into a trade, because look at this aggressive bullish movement here. Then I have this small bearish candle that is not even up to half of this one here. So that is not a good entry for me. So I waited for the next day. That was when I entered this trade on Thursday. That's the confirmation. They can see on Thursday I entered this trade after price created this movement. By 7 a.m. in the morning Nigerian time here, price closed away from it a bit, and I waited for around 9 a.m. before I entered the trade. So I entered this trade around 9 a.m. So that was the third trade for that week. Right now, this week, this is what we are looking at. Since price took out this level here for last week, Thursday. So all we have on Friday was all this range here on Friday. So I'll be looking at price reaction at these two different levels here. You can see the very first one is this old level here, which is going to be my extreme point of interest. Then initially I pulled out my 5618 level on Friday. You see, I use this high here and this low here for my 2 points. So my 5618 level falls around this area here, which was actually respected on Friday. You can see my confirmation candlestick is either seeing engulfing candle or seeing some reasonable candlestick pattern. The candlestick that triggered this point of interest was a strong bullish candle with rejection. Then the next candlestick was a bearish candle. No, it's not enough for me. I want to see price come back to that level and create something like this, or something like this one here that I used to enter this trade. So before I jump into that, so that was the main reason I did not enter this trade on Friday. And you can see what happened afterwards. When price opened for this new week, we had this price pulling away from this point of interest, which made me to pull it off from the chart. So the major thing that I'm looking at now is for price to come back to this extreme PO high here to trigger that for me to go into a trade if I see a confirmation to enter the trade. So that's what I'm currently looking at for. So we're still looking for a bearish movement continuation for this week into this demand level from the daily time frame. So this week we should be looking for sell on GBPUSD. So that is currently what is happening right now on GU. Then we wait see next week to confirm if that sell is going to get to this level here, or it won't get there, or to even move beyond that level. So that will be the next week topic. So that's all I have for now on GBPUSD. Trade safe and let's make some money from this market. Bye for now. See you guys next week.